Hey everybody, and welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, and this is the last ever part of this LP, which is so sad. But in this part I'm going to show you off the figurines and explain a couple of things to help people get figurines if they, especially if you want to try and get figurines on your first playthrough of the game without doing the second quest, because that makes things a little tricky sometimes. Now basically where the figurine place is, if I didn't show you already, is it's over on this little island. And I showed you how to open it up. You hit the switch with the seagull. I showed you in that episode entitled Fly Lesbian Seagull. As a matter of fact, that's what it was called. So, Fly Lesbian Seagull. We're gonna like climb lesbian ladder up here now, and we're gonna go up and go into the figurine place. Man, I feel so happy when I'm playing this game, and I just love it so much. It just gives me such a good feeling to play this game. It's so fun. I never feel happier other than when I'm playing games like this and Kirby's Epic Yarn and Mario Sunshine. Now you may be wondering, where is Karloff, the figurine maker? Well, he's gone, and why he's gone is because this is the file in which I've gotten every single figurine that's possible to get in the game. And once you've done that, he disappears forever. Now that makes one figurine particularly important to get before you get the rest of them. And that one figurine is this one, Knuckle. Now Knuckle, if you get every other figurine before you get him, then Karloff will disappear and you'll never be able to get this figurine. And if you don't get every single figurine, well, no, that's the one that comes. That's one of the ones that comes from the photos. If you never get that figurine, then you'll never be able to get this one, because you only get this one of Link and the King of Red Lions. Once you've gotten every single figurine. And why wouldn't you want to get this figurine? I wish these were real. I would love, I'm the kind of person who would love to have all of these figurines because they're just so cool. You have everyone. You've got Old Man Ho-Ho. And this is how you find out their names as well, because if you don't find out the characters' names during the game, you'll find them out here, and it's just so fun to see what everyone's names are. Like this guy, the guy who runs the boating course, his name is Luke the Sailor, and it tells you like a little story. Like every single character has a little backstory, and it is just so fun. You might say it's a really crap side quest, but I really when I did this side quest, I had so much fun doing it. It was such a pain to get some of them. One in particular that I'll tell you about when we get there. But it was just so fun. I mean, to find out that all the little characters' backstories, like this one. This one's kind of interesting. It says Old Man Ho-Ho, birthplace unknown. He found his first telescope after retiring from his job and has been travelling in search of new sights ever since. A new discovery always waits at the far end of his telescope. Now, there's something really interesting about this guy. But it's not interesting until Phantom Hourglass, because in Phantom Hourglass you find out that there are loads of these guys on a boat, and it's just so funny that there's this tribe called the Ho-Ho tribe, made up of these guys that look exactly like him, which I think is cool. Now the Fairy Queen, you get her from the pictographs that you buy off Lenzo during a certain aspect of the moon, as the Great Fairies as well. There's all Tingle's brethren. Beetle. Can you take a pictograph of Beetle inside in his boat? I presume you can. Zelda and the King. As far as I remember, you take the King's pictograph. You get the King's pictograph off of Lenzo, and Zelda's will be made along with it. Either that, or you get the two of them from Lenzo. The Merman, you just take his picture normally. Now, Tetra is one of the interesting ones, because Tetra, the only time you can get her in your first playthrough of the game is when she's down below in Hyrule with you, when you bring her to make her transform into Zelda. That's the only time you'll have the deluxe picto box in your first playthrough of the game and be able to see Tetra. That's what makes it so hard, because if you take a pictograph of her then and it's not good enough to make a figurine out of her, then you're screwed. You just have to turn off you just have to save before you do that, and then if the pictograph isn't good enough, try again. That's the only way to do it. But if you get Tetris figurine made, then all the rest of the pirates, like Gonzo and what's his name again? I can never remember his name. Zuko and Nico and all of them, they'll be made along with her, which is pretty cool. I explained that. Well, this is only one room. Everyone else, what you have to do is you have to painstakingly go to the island where they are, take their pictograph, bring it to Karlov, go outside, play the Song of Passing twice, and then come down and he'll tell you, oh, I made a figurine, it's in the third one from the right or whatever. And that, it takes a long time. It is the longest side quest in any Zelda game, especially when you consider how many people there are on Windfall Island. I just think this is pretty cool that everyone, that you know, like this one, like this guy, he has like, he has two figurines because he has one from when he was mean and he got tied up, and he has one from afterwards. And this one, the one afterwards where he's happy and he's like has less hair, it always reminds me of in like Matilda when she like glues her dad, because the way that was portrayed in the movie was like it was Danny DeVito who looks like him, and like when he took his hat off, some of the hair came with it, and it was just so funny. But yeah, here's everyone. You can take their pictographs, and there's the guy from the potion shop, there's Linda, and they all have a cool little backstory, like such as this, like when you read like about your one's father, he'll say like his hobby was collecting expensive vases, but like no wait, that's not it. No, I think it's if you read about Mina, then it tells you about how like they had to sell all their possessions. Yeah, she was filthy rich, and her family fell on hard times, and she works in the shop on Windfall Island, and tells you about their little stories, which I think is pretty cool. This one, I think it tells you, like, oh, he comes from a cold place. Yeah, look, see, birthplace, a cold island. And he says, even on the hottest day of summer, he's always wearing his hood. And, oh no, that was a nice one. Wait a second, what did it say? That his mother made for him. He keeps a great treasure in his safe there. On a side note, he turns 40 this year, is now recruiting for a wife, Heart. I just think they put so much effort into having a little blurb for every single character. But yeah, everyone in the Windfall Island ones, then all it is like getting their pictograph and returning. This is the Outset Island ones. Oh yes, there's something I have to explain. Sorry, this is going to be all explaining about how to get their pictographs or whatever. That's a crab. That's one of them. That's one of the ones that you mightn't think of straight away, because you kind of just walk past the crabs as if they don't exist. Jabun, you get him from the pictographs like you saw in the last video of with Lens or whatever. The seagulls, that's another one you mightn't think of straight away. The pigs. But look, Aryll, you mightn't think that you'd be able to get a figurine of her because you're never able to take a pictograph of her in the first quest. Anyway, you can in the second quest, but I don't know if he can make a figurine out of it. But when you take Grandma's picture and have that made into a figurine, Aryll's is made along with it, so that's fine. You don't have to worry about Aryll. All the rest of them, you just go to Outset Island and you take their pictograph and you bring it here. They look really cool. I think even him, yeah, look, even when they like make Zill, isn't his name Zill? Yeah, Zill. Even when they make him, like they make the big snot coming out of his nose. Zill is a hyper-inquisitive young boy who speaks his thoughts as soon as they come to mind. He often can strike a nerve without realizing it. Yeah, when he was talking about like how they ate the pig, do you remember like when he's like, it was delicious? Whenever I think of the word delicious, I always think of that cartoon of the one where Sylvester is trying to give up eating birds, and he's like, what did Tweety say? Then Tweety was like, don't you like me anymore? And he's like, I think you're delicious! And that's what I always think about. Okay, these ones, Godan, there's something interesting about Godan. If you, like, fail to take his pictograph during the battle with him, there's like a figurine back in the boss room where you fight him, and you can just take a picture of that, and that'll suffice to make a figurine of him. So that's interesting in case you're like agonizing over Godan. The Mighty Dark Nut, they're only found in a couple of places. They're found in Ganon's Tower, and they're found in Under Hyrule when you're saving Zelda or whatever. You have to take a picture of the Dark Nut with the shield and sword, and the Dark Nut with just the sword, you know, like you fight in Tower of the Gods, because they all count as different ones. The bosses, Except Ganondorf, you have to take their picture. But the good thing about it is that you actually have 2 chances to take all of them. Except Goma, you only have 1 chance to take Goma's picture, and that's in if you're doing it on your first playthrough, and that's in Ganon's Tower at the end, because like the pictures of Ganon's Tower will actually they're good enough, like even though they're black and white, they'll suffice to have a figurine taken. I think with Kaladimos, you have to take a picture of the little guy in the middle. Now there's something really cool about this figurine, other than the fact that it looks amazing. I love the way they put like a little Maker up on the leaf and he's like, help me! I just think that's so cool. Yeah, he's like, help me! Because that's before he like went through puberty and his voice changed to like, help me! And he was like, feed me Seymour. So yeah, Helmer King, take a pictograph. Ganondorf, you'll get a pictograph of Ganondorf from Lenzo. Otherwise, I remember hearing somewhere that what you can do is take a pictograph during the final battle and then die. And you'll still have the pictograph, and then you can leave and get him made into a figurine. But other than that, I don't know why you'd bother, because if you want to get them all in their first playthrough, you can just get one off Lenzo. These 2 Wizrobes, they count as 2 separate ones. The boss Wizrobe that we shattered into a million pieces, and the regular ones, they count as different ones. But yeah, most of these are okay to get pictographs of. Most of the enemies, you'd think they're difficult, but like if you can just get far away from them, then it's fine. Puppet Ganon, I can't remember what I did, but he's pretty big, so he can be kind of tricky. You might want to wait until he turns into a spider maybe, and then take his pictograph. That might be a bit easier, because you could just like run away from him and take it. The spider is smaller. Now this is where all the ones of the enemies are kept, and these are the ones that some of them can be troublesome. Most of them are okay. Floor Masters, Magmores, Magtails. The bubbles, you only have to take 1 of them. I love the way the bubbles are done actually, because the smoke is done in 3 dimensions, like a 3-dimensional cloud, and I really love that. I think it's so cool. And they look kind of happy as well, and they kind of remind me of, do you know, the comedy and tragedy symbol that's used for theatre? That's what they kind of remind me of. Oh, here's the guy that's also an enthusiast. He says,
hey, ooh, hey, wow, what kind of figurine are you after? If you have a Pictobox, you can get as many figurines as you like. Yeah, wow, this place is like paradise.
What's that on his bag? Oh, well, we'll see in... Oh, oh my god, is that an Octorok? Is there an Oh my god, there's an Octorok on his bag, like from the first Zelda game. That's so cool. Mini Blends, they're okay. Choo-choos, you only have to take 1 of them. They don't all have a separate one. The sea hats were so annoying to get a picture of, because they kept freaking capsizing my boat when I was trying to get a picture of them. I remember that. But this is the one that fucking took me ages. The bloody shark. They were so annoying, because I don't know whether you have to like take a picture of their whole body when they jump out of the water, or whether their fin is enough, because I kept like taking pictographs back to him, and like, you can't see them unless they're going to attack you, and it's just so hard to get a good pictograph of them. Now, where I took its pictograph is... Where you can find them is you can find them in Tingle Island. If you warp there, that's one of the places where you can find them. So, you might as well, seeing as you can warp there with the Ballad of the Gales, take his pictograph there. But yeah, other than that, it's a pretty badass looking pictograph. It's pretty cool. I mean, look, he has teeth and everything. And it's kind of cool because you never really get to see them, like, their body properly. So it's kind of cool to get to see them like that, because usually they're under the water, or else, like, when they come out of the water, they're gone so quickly. As you can see, you only have to take a picture of the keys once. Either the fire keys or the regular one will suffice. There can't be that many more rooms. I can't think of many more things that I have to explain. Okay, this is the Dragon Roost one. Okay, I know I have to explain something in here that's kind of important. Like, I know this is a lot of explaining, but I know that this is a hard quest to do on your first playthrough, and I want to, like, tell you all of the tricks to getting it done on your first playthrough. Okay, there's one up here. Okay, Quill, the postman. As far as I know, as far as I remember, his figurine is built when you get the figurine of the Risho chieftain. because otherwise you can't take a pictograph of him because he just flies away. He's only seen in cutscenes usually, even though technically if you're on your second playthrough of the game you can take a picture of him on Outset Island because he's there on the beach waiting for you because he like tells Tetra they should bring you along. So I don't know if you can get it made into a figurine like that from that pictograph, but if you're using the second quest to get the pictograph, chances are that it's things like Tetra that you missed, or like Zephos and Cyclos. Because with Zephos and Cyclos, you have to take a picture of Cyclos because Zephos is only seen in a cutscene. And once you kill once you like hit Cyclos with the arrows after you get the bow in order to get Ballad of the Gales, then he disappears forever, so you have to make sure that you get a good pictograph and a figurine before you kill him. Now what you can do is you can just go and get attacked by him, take his picture and let yourself die, or not die, but get warped away, and then get the figurine made, and if it's not good enough you can just try again. But you have to make sure to get it before you get the Ballad of the Gales. That's really important. Oh, here's one of my favourite characters in the game, and I love the figurine. It's like they give you young Komali, and they give you old Komali, like, well, not old, but like adolescent Komali as well. And adolescent Komali has the flower that he was going to give Medley. I just think that's really cool, and the young one has Din's Pearl. I just think like they really went to so much trouble to make this right. Now Medley, like if you're having trouble finding Medley during the game, then I have pity for you because you can't really get rid of her for most of it. If you don't manage to get a pictograph of her before you finish up in the Earth Temple, you might be worried that you wouldn't be able to get a pictograph of her and therefore you wouldn't be able to get a figurine. But actually, once you finish the Earth Temple, she stays in the boss room. So you can always go back to the boss room where you fought Jalhala and take a pictograph of her there. But it's easier, to be honest, to make sure you get the figurine before that. LaRusho, you get her pictograph from the ones Lenzo that you buy off Lenzo. But I think it's really cool the way they arranged them, because you they kind of put Medley at the front, and then you have Komali and LaRusho and the Chieftain, and then you have Quill and Valu, and they're kind of the important guys, like they're all like down the middle. Oh, Valu, to get his figurine, what you have to do is you have to go up Dragon Roost Cavern and take a picture of his head. That's how you do it. You know, the way you can kind of see his head above, like where you fought the mini boss in Dragon Roost Cavern. That's where you have to go. As far, I don't know if you can get up there. You can. Oh yeah, you can. You can go up there like to a certain amount, and you can get a picture of his head from on top of the mountain before you get all the way up there. So that's what you've got to do, and that'll be enough to get a figurine made. All the rest of them, these guys, they're actually not on Dragon Roost Island. They're on the flight control platform. So that's where you have to go to get their pictures. Other than that, all the rest of them are on Dragon Roost Island. I don't know if one of them... Where's the guy that's the other postman that was having to fight with the guy on Windfall Island? I suppose you can take his pictograph in the bar on Windfall Island. You know, if you need me, I'll be in the bar, to quote Joni Mitchell. Oh, this is the last room already? Jeez, this video isn't as long as I thought it was going to be at all. It's only like 20 minutes. Yeah, but this is the Forest Haven, and Makar, like, you know yourself, take a picture of him. Same as Medley, he'll be in the boss room in the Wind Temple if you don't manage to get a pictograph of him. The Deku Tree, you can just take a pictograph of him. Fado, because he's only seen in... that's another one of my favourite figurines. I love the way they have his foot inclined, like he's tapping a beat with his foot. And I just think it's really clever. I mean, they really put a lot of thought into how they were going to do these figurines, and like which poses would be best for each character. I think it's so cool. But yeah, you get his pictograph off Lenzo. Now the Koroks, oh yeah, no, these guys count as figurines as well, so you have to take a picture of them. And it's kind of funny, when you take a picture of Karlov and you show it to him to make the figurine, he'll be like, who is this dashing man, or whatever. It's so funny. It's really, really funny. I might go back to another file and show you that dialogue, actually. No, I won't. It's not that important. All of the Koroks except for... Where's Hollow? I'm trying to find... Is that Hollow? Yeah, that's Hollow. He's the guy in the potion shop, so he'll always be in Forest Haven. So there's no problem. Look, here's like, Angela Mangala Joey! Yeah, he'll always be in Forest Haven, so you don't have to worry about where he is. Maykar, he'll be in Forest Haven, or else he'll be in the Wind Temple. You can take pictograph of him. The rest of them, they're only in Forest Haven up until you finish the Forbidden Woods. After that, they all go to, like, scattered across the Great Sea to the different islands. So you, like, well, no, he doesn't. They all go scattered across to the sea to the different islands. In my opinion, it's better to just, like, get them while they're all, before you do the Forbidden Woods, because you can actually get the Forest Firefly and go back to Windfall Island to get the deluxe Picto Box, and then you can, it's really easy because you can just take 3 of their pictures, go across, like, right into here, which is only across the way from Forest Haven, and get their pictographs made. And it's so, because you can get the Song of Passing while you're on Windfall Island getting the deluxe Picto Box. So that's how I'd recommend doing it. It just saves so much time. It saves much time later on in the game, traveling around to all the islands where you do the forest water side quest. And what I think is really cool about these guys is that each one of them has a different plant. And as far as I remember, if you read in the description, it'll tell you, like, where they go, but each one of them, like, where they go during the side quest, which can be helpful, I suppose. But each one of them has a different plant, and it's just so cool. Like, he has, like, little flowers. They look like the flowers that are falling out of the sky in Flower Fields in Paper Mario. And he has, like, a little buttercup, and he is a mushroom, and they just all have their own little one. And I think that is so cool. Isn't there an umbrella that looks like that in Animal Crossing? I'd swear there is. I just think that's such a good touch, and it just goes to show, like, how much effort was put into this game. He is, like, the Deku Nut placed in a very interesting position, and he has his, like, little leaf copter, and, like, Maykar obviously has his, like, little, like, stick, his little, like, stick thing, his staff, and I just think it's so cool. I mean, they went to so much trouble in this game, and this is the last ever part of this LP, and just what better way to end off an LP than with the greatest example of how much effort was put into the making of this game, i.e. with the making of the figurines. And all the figurines, they're just so good, they're so clever. As far as, oh yeah, we were going to see if that, yeah, that's an Octorok on that guy's thing. If you look behind here, you can see some cool references to, like, Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. Like, you can see, like, Lon Milk back there on the shelf. What's that thing floating in the air? That's pretty weird. It looks like a whale shark's head. That's what it looks like. And you can see, like, the windmill from Windfall Island. Now that guy back there, see, like, little heads back there, the wooden heads that aren't painted, they look kind of like Sakon in Majora's Mask. I always thought. I don't know if anyone else thinks that, but that one there really looks like him. I don't know why. And you can see there's the bunny hood. That's the All Night mask, I always thought anyway. That one there, the second from the left, and the Gore mask and the Keaton mask. And you can see there's, like, the submarine figurine and stuff like that. And look, oh my god, if you look back there, do you see between the whale shark head and the salvage corps vehicle thing? I think that orange thing is, like, the statues that you put the pearls into. That's pretty cool. But yeah, he has books and things as well. I'd like to know what that whale shark head thing is. Jeez, I really would. Maybe if we look at it from another angle. You know, what was it? Was that... You just have to look at things from another point of view. What am I doing? I'm pressing Y to try and... Can I get my telescope? Can I use my telescope in this room? Man, this is the stupidest way to end this, like, brilliant video. I seriously don't have a clue what that is. It looks like a fish's head. Like a whale shark's head is what it looks like. To me, anyway. I honestly don't have a clue what that thing is. Do you see the thing that's hanging on a string? Do you know, like, do 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 do, like a puppet on a string? yeah, so I guess this is the last time you'll ever see this game on my channel anyway, though I'm sure plenty of other people will LP it. And I just want to say thanks for giving me the chance to play this game and have just such a good time, forge so many memories while I'm playing it. It's just, I mean, you couldn't ask for a better time, really. I mean, I've had so much fun playing this game and playing it along with you and making memories. And is that a rabbit on that book? That's so weird. I've had such a good time playing this and making all those memories, and it's just, I hope you enjoyed it just as much. Now, I'm sure you did, but I really don't know how to end this, because this is a game that no one ever wants to end, and this is part 100, the last ever part. And I guess the only thing I can say is bye.